Hello, this is Mrs. Ross, and this is Cumulative Test 15A. I'll be going through this review. Highly suggest that you write the steps. You really don't need to write the problems, but just the steps on how to work these out in your spiral. So number 1 says write a proportion to solve this problem. This is a case 1, case 2 ratio box. And from the ratio box comes the proportion, and then you cross multiply. So ratio box, proportion, cross multiply. So we have case 1, case 2. We have books and pounds. So let's see, if 12 math books weigh 40 pounds, how much would 21 math books weigh? So ratio box, proportion, cross multiply. 21 times 40. So 21 times 40 is what? 21 times 40 is 840. Then I divide. Goes away. X equals, and I get 70 as my answer. Okay, let me change colors here. This says what is the average of the two numbers marked by the arrows, so that we know the formula for average is equal to the sum over how many. Okay, and what you can't see here because it's not very clear is there are 10 lines between the 3 and the 4. So that would be 3.8. And there are 10 lines between, let's see, if this is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Let's say that's, I'm not sure how I did this on the, on Schoology, but I'm going to assume this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe this is 5.8. I'm going to get close, but I'm probably not going to get the same number. But either way, so I'm going to take these two numbers, and it's much clearer on your test. And I'm going to add them. And then I'm going to divide by 2. So that's 3.8 plus 5.8 is 9.6 divided by 2, which is 4.8. Something close to that. Okay, refer to the trapezoid below. What is the perimeter? So the perimeter is where we add everything, and I'm going to start at the 10, and I'm going to go this way. So I have 10 plus 15 plus 19 plus 12, and that gives me 10 plus 15 plus 19. I get 56. Where's my 56 inches? And then this asks for the area, so let me change colors. The area of a trapezoid is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times your height. You could also write it as 0.5. That's 1/2 as a decimal times your height. You could also write it as base 1 plus base 2 over 2 times your height. Any of this is all three the same thing. So this is going to be your base 1. This is your base 2. And then your height always has to make a 90-degree angle. So this is your height. Let me plug this in. 1/2. Base 1 is 10. Base 2 is 19 times my height, which is 12. So that's going to be 1/2 times 29 times 12, which is 174 inches squared. Okay, and then let me change colors and do this last one down here. It says 4 squared. So 4 squared, which is 4 times 4, which is 16, is how much greater than the square root of 4? So this is 2. So 16 minus 2 is 14. And that's your answer, because it asks how much greater is it. Okay, ratio box, great. I don't know if I need a total. I should probably check the problem. 550 students. I'm going to need a total because we're going to do boys, girls, and total. So we have boys, girls, total, ratio, actual. 550 students attended the assembly. That's 550 actual students. If the ratio of boys to girls was 6 to 5, how many girls attended the assembly? So we have our ratio box, we're going to do our proportion, and then we're going to cross multiply. 5 times 550, 11x equals 5 times 550. This is, oops, lost my cursor there, 2750 divided by 11. X is equal to 250. Okay. Let's do a different color. Let's do red. Use a unit multiplier to convert 6.4 grams to milligrams. So 6.4 grams. I want milligrams in the top. My grams are going to cancel. I get 6.4 times 1,000, which is 6 milligrams. Okay, diagram this statement and then answer the following questions. In the first fifth of the season, this tells me I'm going to need 5 boxes. The Madrigals played 12 games. So I need 5 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They played 12 games in the first fifth of the season. It says, how many did they play the whole season? Well, if all of these have the same number in them, then I have 12 times 5, which is 60. And then it says if the Madrigals won 60% of their games, during the whole season, how many games did they win? So 60%. 60% to 60 per 100, which is 6 over 10. If I divide by 2, I get 3/5. So 3/5 is how many they won. So that's going to be 3 times 12, which is 36. Okay, 72 is 4/5 of what number? So this is going to be an is over of. Is of 72 is 4/5 of what number? So 4/5 just stands on its own. Of what number? That's going to be x. You cross multiply. So I have 4x is equal to 5 times 72. 4x is equal to 360 divided by 4. X is equal to 90. One-tenth of what number is, okay, so this is going to be, oh, my bad, that doesn't go that way, this goes this way, and then the is this, so 1/10 of what number, so is over of, 201, is of, okay, so then I'm going to cross multiply, and I get 1x is equal to 10 times 21, 201, which is going to be, okay, let me change colors here. All right, now the rules here are the same sign is positive, different signs is negative. So this is negative times a negative gives me a positive 18. Negative times a positive gives me a negative 54. Negative divided by a negative gives me a positive 3. Positive divided by a negative gives me a negative 9. Each edge of a cube is 5 centimeters, then what's the volume? 5, 5, 5. We know volume is equal to length times width times height. 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125 centimeters cubed. All right. Circumference. So we know circumference is 2 pi r or pi d. I'm going to take this first one. This is what we're supposed to use for circumference. So I have circumference is equal to 2 over 1 times 22 over 7 times 21 over 1, which is equal to, I get 924 over 7 if I multiply 2 times 22 times 21 and 1 times 7 times 1, and then I divide. I get 132. Change colors. Okay, so for this one, it's leave pi as pi. This one is probably a little bit harder. So I have circumference is equal to 2 times pi times r. Circumference is equal to 2 times pi times 20. So I know I can multiply the 2 and the 20. So I get 40 pi as my answer. Okay. Okay, so on decimal, I know if I go from fraction to decimal, I divide. From decimal to percent, I multiply by 100. Percent to decimal, I divide by 100. And then decimal to fraction is place value. So 1 divided by 6 is going to be 0.16 repeating, times 100 is 16.6 repeating percent, or something to that effect. This is going to be 45% because 0.45 times 100 is 45. And then this is 45 hundredths. So I'm going to divide by 5, which gives me 9 over 20. 45 divided by 5 is 9. 100 divided by 5 is 20. And that is as far as that will go. Okay. Let's see. 10 times m minus this. So I'm going to start plugging in 10 and 6. So I have 10 times 10 minus 10 times 6 minus 6 squared. Okay, so this is 100 minus 60 minus 36, because this is 36, that's 60. 60 minus 36 is 24. So then I have 100 minus 24. And that is 76. Okay. Here I'm going to have to multiply by the reciprocal. So I have 2/3 m is equal to 18. I multiply this by 3 over 2, which means I'm going to make this a fraction and multiply it by 3 over 2. That means this is going to cancel, and I get m is equal to 18 times 3. Let me pull this over here. M is equal to 54 over 2, which is 27. And then here I'm going to have to subtract 3.4 from both sides. So my n comes down, this is not there, equals 7 minus 3.4 is 3.6. Okay. And I'm going to do this in another video.